Any other doubts? Any other doubts? Okay, now going to SA 260. We did till SA 250. We start with SA 260. 60 and 65 are related. If you see both SA, it start with the word communication. SA 260 starts with communication. 265 also starts with what? Communication. Communication, dono mein. Now, what is the difference between 260 and 265? This is communication of audit matters to those charged with governance. Okay, what do you mean by those charged with governance? Those who give strategic directions to an entity. Yaad aaya? In our SA 200 only we had this word. So those who give strategic directions to an entity, they are called as what? Those charged with governance. And those who have executive responsibility of conduct of business management. Simple words mein, higher level management is TCWG, lower level are basically your management. So higher level people are TCWG, lower or medium level people are management. This essay talks about communication of audit matters with those charged with governance. Only with those charged with governance. They don't talk about talking with management. But if we go to 265, the heading, communication of deficiencies in internal control. Communication of what? Deficiencies in internal control with those charged with governance and management. So वहाँ पे दोनों word are written. So what is the basic difference between 260 and 265? So SA 260, SA 265. This is communication with only whom? And this is communication with TCWG and what? Management. Okay, so 260 deals with communication with only TCWG, 265 deals with communication with TCWG and management. If you see the heading of 260, communication of what? Audit matter. Okay, which audit matter? Which audit matter I'll communicate to TCWG? Each and every small thing I'll communicate to TCWG. Today you ask for document, they gave you 1 hour late. Would you go to director and say, sir, your employees gave me document 1 hour late? Yes, no. They will say, sir, sit and have a cup of coffee, na? So they are not interested in all that things. You will communicate only which matter? Significant. But which type of matters can be there? Any type of matter which are significant. So यहाँ पे any significant audit matter can be communicated. So it is any significant audit matter. On any significant audit matter can be communicated. Like you found out a fraud, you communicate. You found out a non-compliance of law or regulation, you communicate. You found out some accounting policies being wrongly followed by them, you communicate. You found some basically going concern issues are there in the company, you communicate. Some big thing, whatever you find, you can communicate. But now if you see the heading of 265, communication of what? Deficiencies in internal control. So only we communicate what? Deficiencies in internal control. So only deficiencies in internal control are communicated. Only deficiencies in internal control are communicated. In 260 we communicate any significant audit matter. In 260 we communicate what? Any significant audit matter are communicated. यहाँ पे only deficiencies in internal control are communicated. Can be की जगह better word is are. Okay. Any significant audit matters are communicated, and यहाँ पे only the deficiencies in internal control are communicated. This is just the basic difference. This is just the basic difference between 260 and 265. 260 again. 260 deals with communication with only TCWG. 265 deals with communication with TCWG and management. 260, any significant audit matter can be communicated. 265, only what? Deficiencies in internal control can be communicated. Shall I move it? Shall I move it? Okay, coming to 260. Tell me, why should I communicate the significant audit matters to TCWG? Why? Why do you think this essay is there? Why should we communicate the significant audit matters to TCWG? Okay, they will take action. So as that they are able to take a timely action. And communication to TCWG is not giving audit report. When you are doing audit, you found out something wrong is going on, you communicate immediately to them. It's not waiting till the end and then giving an audit report. No. This is whenever you're doing audit. I was doing audit in the month in between, I found some frauds are done by employee. I should tell to whom? TCWG, so that the TCWG can take action. They can remove that employee, or they can just blast them, whatever they want to do. I don't care what actions they take. But my purpose is to tell them so that they're able to take actions. If you see the introduction, the first line, in order to help the management get the benefit of audit at earliest, 260 has been issued, SA 260 has been issued, making it necessary for auditor to communicate what? Important audit matters to TCWG on a timely basis so that they are able to take timely appropriate actions. So this is not reporting on financial statement. This is some significant matter which I found out during audit. I will tell to TCWG so that they are able to take actions. And this is only communicating with whom? TCWG. If I have to communicate with management, it's not covered here. If I have to communicate to the owners, shareholders, that's not covered unless they are in TCWG role. This is only for communication with TCWG. This SA does not establish requirement regarding auditors' communication with management or owners unless they are in which role? TCWG role. What is TCWG role? Those who give strategic directions. Now, under your introduction, third point is important. What is the role of communication? Why there has to be a communication between both? So why there has to be a communication? So role of communication, it helps in assisting what? Now they might frame a very big question like as per SA 260 we are required to do communication, this, that. What is the purpose of communication, or it assists in what things? So yeah. So these are 3 points only. So one, it will help the TCWG to understand the matter in a proper manner. So auditor and TCWG, it assists in assisting the auditor and TCWG in understanding the matter related to what? Audit, and developing a good relationship between them. And developing what? Good relationship between them, and you're also able to maintain independence. Like you also communicate not the significant matters. How do you charge your fees? What were the threats to independence coming? How did we have a safeguard against the threats to independence? So I tell them all the things so that they have a confidence on me that we are working independently. So we don't just tell only the significant findings coming in audit. We also tell about other things. What were the threats to independence in this audit? What did we do to overcome the threats, etc. Second, the auditor in obtaining from TCWG information relevant to audit. Now, when I communicate to them, when I go and meet them, I'll also ask something which is necessary for my purpose. For example, yesterday we did SA 240. In your SA 240, there was one point, risk assessment procedures to identify risk area. Usme 5 points were there. First point was inquiring with management. What is second point? Inquiring with TCWG. So you discuss some things with TCWG, you also get the information which is relevant for your audit. If you communicate with them, you are able to get the information which is relevant for your audit, and it will help the TCWG for their role. They will be able to identify significant issues, they will be able to take action. So you will also benefit, they will also benefit. So in fulfilling their responsibility, it will assist the TCWG in fulfilling their responsibility related to financial statement process and reducing the risk of material misstatement. So what is the role of communication? So communication is important in assisting. One, You both will have a good relationship. They will trust you more. They will be understanding that you are really working independent. Second, you will get the information which is relevant for your audit. When you communicate, you will ask something also from them. And they will be able to discharge their function of overseeing the financial reporting process in a proper manner. Who has to oversee the financial reporting process? How financial reporting is being done? The TCWG has a responsibility of oversight. See, journal entries directors don't make. Do you think directors will sit and make journal entry? Who will make it? The accountants, or basically they have a lower staff. They have to just oversee everybody is doing properly or not. So this were the 3 points given under your communication assists in what all things. Okay, this is fine. Now coming to the definition which you already done. What is TCWG? Those who oversee the strategic directions of entity and who have the obligation of accountability of entity. They are responsible for something going wrong in the entity. And management is those people who have executive responsibility for what? Conduct of business. Fine. Objective is okay for this essay. Coming to directly requirements. I told you, each and every place objectives are not to be read. The purpose of reading objective is to understand requirements in a better way. But there are some essay where you can directly understand requirement. Where objective becomes kind of useless. I give it because ICI book mein hai, and to interpret, if you want, you can go back to understand objective and then see the requirements. Now requirements. Now, they told me you communicate significant matters to whom? TCWG. They told me you communicate significant matters to TCWG. Now question arises, who comes in TCWG? Who? Should I communicate to director? Should I communicate to audit committee? Should I communicate to entire board of director or one person? Whom should I communicate? Should I communicate to CFO? CFO is not a director now. So there are different things. So whom shall I communicate? The question arises is, whom to communicate? Relevant person. Second question arises, you tell me to communicate significant matters. So what is significant matter? So second question is, what to communicate? Third, you tell me to communicate. Okay, should I call them? Should I send a WhatsApp message? What is the third issue coming? How to communicate. So they are the 3 points, and fourth point is documentation. So see, there are 4 requirements given. What is the first requirement? Relevant person. The relevant person is whom to communicate. What is this relevant person? It is whom to communicate. It's all logical thing. It's not like just a normal theory given. If you understand it, this is not like theory to be mugged up. Whom to communicate. Matters to be communicated is what to communicate. Matters to be communicated is what to communicate. And if you see the third point on the next page, communication process. What is communication process? How to communicate. Communication process is how to communicate, and then we have the documentation. So I understood, you tell me to communicate. The question arises, whom to communicate, what all things I communicate, and how should I communicate. Now whom? Whom to communicate. Now should I communicate to one director, ya CFO, ya entire group of board of directors or audit committee? That depends on professional judgment of auditors. It depends on professional judgment of auditor. You see the facts and circumstances and then you decide. So the clearly word written is auditor shall determine. Who shall determine? Auditor. Auditor shall determine based on professional judgment. Based on which judgment? Professional. That's why essay 200 overall objective mein one of the requirement is you should be having a professional judgment. So auditor shall determine. What I shall determine? The relevant person within the entity's governance structure with whom to communicate. So with whom shall I communicate is to be decided based on my professional judgment. With whom to communicate is based on my professional judgment. Now question. Communication with subgroup. Subgroup is nothing but an individual director or a committee. What is a subgroup? So either an individual person or a committee. It's either an individual or a kind of committee. Now, if you have communicated something, if you have communicated something to an individual director or a committee like audit committee, if you have communicated something, to an individual director or a committee, should you again communicate it to entire board of director? I repeat the question. If you have communicated something to one of the director or one committee, then should I communicate again to the entire board of director? Maybe, may not be. Again, it's a matter of a professional judgment. So, communication within subgroup. Now, what do you mean by subgroup? Individual director or committee. Now, when an auditor communicates within subgroup, for example, audit committee or individual, the auditor shall determine whether the auditor also needs to communicate with the governing body. What do you mean by also needs to communicate? Mean, should I also communicate to entire BOD? Depends on your professional judgment. Auditor shall determine based on what? Professional judgment. If I communicated something to one director or audit committee, should I communicate again to entire BOD at the end? Like, should I tell to BOD at the end that this all things I had communicated this guy during the audit was going on? Should I tell it? It's up to you on your professional judgment. Now, when all of those charged with governance are also involved in managing the entity. Word is all. All of those charged with governance are also involved in what? Managing the entity. I told you, same person can be in governance role and also in management. Those who give directions are TCWG. Those who implement directions are management. Those who give directions are TCWG. Those who implement directions are management. Yeah, that clear? So now imagine there's a small partnership firm. Who will give directions? Partners. And who will implement the directions? Partners. So now can I say the partner will come under what? Both the roles. So now, if suppose a issue came, whenever auditor finds the issue, now auditor will never go directly to TCWG. You find some problem is there, you will first always go to whom? And then you will go to TCWG. Now, there is some matter which you have communicated to management. There is some matter which you have communicated to. So I have communicated to the partner, but not in his governance role. I communicated to him because he was in management. So I communicated a matter to partner. It is a partnership firm which we are auditing. What we are auditing? Partnership firm. To a partnership firm which we are auditing, we have communicated a matter to a partner, not because he is TCWG, but because he is in management. I have communicated to him in which role? Management ka role. But now the matter is big. And as per this essay, the matter should be communicated to whom? TCWG. Now who are the people in TCWG? Same. So should I communicate again? When a matter is already communicated to someone in their management role, now as per this essay, the matter should be communicated to whom? TCWG. But if in TCWG all people are same, but in TCWG what is same? All people are same. Should I communicate again? That's the question. Should I communicate again? So they say no need. No. Yahan pe they don't telling no, depends. Yahan pe they are telling no. But the word is all. All of those charged with governance were also in management. All. Now suppose there are 3 partners. There are how many partners? 3. I had communicated in management role only to one of the partner who was handling that work. So management role mein I had communicated to how many? 1. But as per this thing, I have to communicate to TCWG, and TCWG mein how many are there? 3. Did I communicate to all 3 or only 1? 1. So now I should also communicate to all 3 or other 2, because that is the requirement of this essay. The essay says what? You communicated a matter to someone who was in a management role. Who was in? If I find some problems, I'll tell over there. Now, suppose I found some problems in purchases, I'll first tell to purchase manager. I'll not go directly to director. If I found some problems in purchase manager, I first go and meet whom? Purchase manager I'll meet. Sir, ye issues I am finding. So you met purchase manager. Now that purchase manager itself is a director also. So now this essay says you communicate significant matters to TCWG. But TCWG, who is there? Same guy. If same guy is there, so should I communicate again? They are telling no need. But all are same guy. Yahan pe you communicated to 1 person, TCWG mein there are 3 person. You communicated just to 1, other 2 are not knowing about it, then you have to communicate. So when all of those charged with governance are also involved in what? Management. When all of those charged with governance are involved in management, and you have already communicated to them, but in which role? Management's role. So you already communicated to them in management's role. So in some cases, all of TCWG are also involved in management. For example, a small business, single owner manages the entity also. And no one has a governance role other than this. If matter required by this SA are communicated with the persons with which responsibility? Management. With management. I have communicated to management. Now this SA wants us to communicate with whom? TCW. But if they are same people, should I communicate again? No. And those persons also have a governance role. The matter need not be communicated again with the same person in their governance role. Matter need not be communicated with the same person in their which role? Governance role. Clear with this? Shall I move it? It's very much clear. So see, simple. Whom shall I communicate? Depends on your professional judgment. Okay, if you have communicated to individual or committee, should you again communicate to entire BOD? Again, depends on your judgment. If you have communicated something to the management, as per this SA, you have to communicate to whom? That matter to TCWG, but all people are same in TCWG. Should you communicate again? Answer is no. Clear with this? Okay, that was whom to communicate. Now tick important matters to be communicated. Now, there are 4 things which we need to communicate. Matters mein, how many things are there? 4. One about your responsibility, auditor's responsibility. Like our responsibility is to express an opinion whether the financial statement shows a true and fair view. And we express an opinion on financial statement prepared by management. So I need to write, our responsibility is to express an opinion on financial statement prepared by you. So we are not coming for preparing, we are coming for giving opinion. So you write about your responsibility. Second, the planned scope and timing. What you will write? Planned scope and timing. What all is basically to be covered and when tentatively you are going to come. Tentatively, no need to give a precise date. So planned scope and timing. Significant findings. Whatever findings you have during your audit, that was the purpose. You have to communicate with whom? TCWG, significant findings. And fourth, if it is a listed company, if it is which company? Listed company, you are required to tell that you are independent. So you say that we have entire team independent. You also have to communicate threats which came up and the safeguards which you took. You have to communicate the threats which came up and the safeguards which you took to maintain independence. So 4 things are to be communicated. Which are the 4 things? 1, auditor's responsibility, planned scope and timing, significant auditor's findings, whatever are coming up during your audit, and last one is auditor's independence, but that's only for listed company. Okay, the first one, your auditor's responsibility in relation to audit. So you say auditor is responsible for forming and expressing an opinion on financial statement that have been prepared by management. An audit does not relieve the management of its responsibility. Audit does not relieve the management or TCWG of their responsibility. So this is one thing I'll communicate, my responsibility. There will be other things including this. So you write the responsibilities of auditor in relation to audit of financial, including that, this thing. So I can have other things also written, like we have a responsibility to obtain reasonable assurance. That also you can write. But this 2 lines has to come. That our responsibility is to form and express our opinion based on financial statement which has been prepared by you. On the financial statement which are prepared by you, and audit does not relieve the management or TCWG of their responsibilities. Next is planned scope and timing which you have to communicate to TCWG when you are going to come. Tentative dates. Third one, significant audit findings. Significant audit findings. 1, about the qualitative aspects of accounting system. Like accounting policies followed by them is proper or not. The way they make estimates. The procedure for making estimates are proper or not. The disclosures overall which they do in financials are proper or not. That's a qualitative aspect regarding the accounting practices which they follow. So qualitative aspect के ऊपर significant difficulties which you encountered during audit. Significant difficulties which you encountered during audit, like significant delay by management in not giving the information to you. You wanted to meet purchase manager, you took appointment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, but still he was not available every time. So then I have to tell it to whom? the higher level authorities. So significant delays by management, unavailability of entities personnel, unreasonably brief time within which to complete the audit. They told us to complete audit in 3 days only. So that kind of issues came. Unavailability of expected information, restrictions imposed. So what difficulties you had during your audit that you communicate? Then you have to communicate to them significant matters arising during audit and discussed with whom? Management. Now suppose this point will not come. This point will not come if TCWG and management people are same. If they are same, I can't tell you this I communicated to you. So that is not come. If you see earlier page they have written. If you see earlier page they have written unless all of those charged with governance are also involved in managing. This point will not come if all are same. So significant matters which we have discussed with management. Management did not resolve it. That's why I'm coming to you. For example, significant event or transaction which happened, business conditions basically related to affecting the risk of material misstatement, concerns about management consultation with other accountants. They have consulted someone else, but I don't understand why, what was the need, all that things. Discussion and correspondence with the, basically them regarding your appointment, etc. And significant matters on which there was a disagreement with management. Management had taken some assumption or estimate, we don't agree with it, so now we will tell it to TCWG. Plus, written representation which you want from them. You also tell about that this we want this representation from you. Circumstances that affect the form and content of audit report. This is nothing but whenever you plan to give a modified report, you have to first communicate to TCWG before giving a modified report. Like there was an issue because of which I want to give modified, tell to TCWG. They may sort that issue out so that the modified report may not come. So whenever you plan to modify the report, you have to first communicate to TCWG. That is a requirement under SA 700 series also. So when auditor plans to what? Modify the report, he has to first communicate with whom? TCWG. You first communicate with TCWG and then you modify. And last one, any other significant matters arising during audit. Any other significant matters arising during audit, you can communicate to them. Example is, if I used your internal auditor's work somewhat, that also I should communicate to them. These are the areas where I use the work. By using, my responsibility is not shifted. I will only be responsible, but the thing is, I'm just communicating what all things I have done. It's just to have a better clarity between them and you have communicated all important aspects to them. So one is regarding auditors' responsibility, second is planned scope and timing, third one is what? Significant findings arising out of your audit. In the significant findings arising out of your audit, which all points we were communicating? So first one we are communicating is qualitative aspects, whatever were significant, the accounting policies followed by them, judgments made by them, are they proper or not? Second, the significant difficulties you had while doing audit, they did not give you some information, you are not allowed to meet someone, or they gave you very less time to do audit, all that things you can communicate. Third one is any discussions and other matters where you had a disagreement with management. If I disagree with management, I have to go to TCWG. So that all matters, significant matters arising during audit and discussed with whom? Management. And discuss with management, that all issues I'll tell them. Representations which I need from them, that I'll tell them. And what will lead to, the matters which will lead to change in my audit report, modification audit report, that matters also I need to communicate. Any other significant matters. And last I have to communicate auditors' independence, but only for what? Listed company. It's only for listed company you have to communicate. What? When you say that our entire team has complied with ethics and the independence thing, that you will tell. Plus then you say all relationships You communicate about the relationships which can have a bearing on independence. Like one of your director's son was our article. So you tell them one of your director's son was article and because of that independence may be affected, but we ensured that that article does not come for this audit. So one is you make a statement that the engagement team and others have complied with what? Ethical requirements regarding independence. Then you communicate. You have to communicate all relationships which may have a bearing on independence and the related safeguards that has been applied. All relationships or matters which may have a bearing on independence and the related safeguards that has been applied. So this is how you communicate the matters to be communicated. So which are the matters to be communicated? One we understood was whom to communicate. Now we understood is what to communicate. Now third, how to communicate. Okay, total how many matters were to be communicated? How many matters were to be communicated? Bolo yaar. I'm telling you, if you don't make yourself active, you're just coming over here doing nothing. You have to remain active. The 4 matters are to be communicated. Now how to communicate that 4? Out of 4, the last 2, significant matters and auditors' independence, they have to be communicated in writing. Which have to be communicated in writing? Last 2. So it means that the first 2 can be communicated what? Orally. So I can understand the first 2. First 2 matters can be communicated what? Orally, but they can be communicated orally, but generally they are a part of letter of engagement. But generally they are part of letter of engagement. Now sir, why letter of engagement? Remember letter of engagement, objective of audit, scope of audit, my responsibility, management responsibility. So this 2 will generally be covered under letter of engagement. SA says last 2, significant finding and auditor's independence has to be in writing. This SA says the last 2 has to be in writing. Check your D point. Check your third point. The auditor shall communicate in writing. The auditor shall communicate in writing. What I have to communicate in writing? Significant findings and auditor's independence. Significant findings and auditor's independence. And I should do it on which basis? Timely basis. So that they're able to take actions. Okay, so I have to communicate in writing these 2 things. The first 2 can be oral, but generally they are a part of letter of engagement. Now sometimes to avoid misunderstanding, so that you are not confused whom to communicate, what to communicate, how to communicate, you don't have a misunderstanding, we put all that things in letter of engagement. Like letter of engagement, it's written, we and the client have agreed. If a matter is related to sales, you communicate to this guy. If a matter is related to purchase, you communicate to this guy. If a matter is kind of general, you communicate to this committee or the entire board of directors. So whom to communicate can be written in letter of engagement. Which all matters I should communicate, that also can be written in letter of engagement. Letter of engagement can tell me, sir, you have to do an email. What did they told me? Email. Don't sir send a letter because our directors are traveling across the world. So when you send a letter, they might not be in office, but if you send an email, they'll pakka check the email. So whom to communicate, what to communicate, how to communicate can be clarified by letter of engagement. So see, to avoid misunderstanding, an engagement letter may, it's not necessary, it may, what may? Describe the form. Describe the form in which it is to be communicated. This is nothing but what? How to communicate. Identify the relevant persons. What is identify the relevant person? Whom to communicate. And identify the audit matters which you have to communicate. That is what to communicate. So many times to avoid misunderstanding, how to communicate, whom to communicate, what to communicate can also be written in your letter of engagement. Lastly, do your documentation. Now question, if I communicated a matter to TCWG, if I communicated a matter to whom? TCWG. Does it mean that now I should give a clean report later on? Because I already communicated now. Now should I give a clean report later on? May or may not be. Okay, why? Anyone? may not be a reason. Yes. Okay, what is action they have not taken ka meaning? They are still not complying. I am not caring with whether they comply or not. I just care whether provision for penalty is done. If provision for penalty is done, I will give which report? Clean, because financial statement shows a true and fair view. I don't care about what actions they take. I just care about how it is reflected in financial statement. So the thing is, communication with TCWG was one thing, so that they are able to take action. Whether they take, whether they don't take, I don't care. Ultimately, when I am auditing financials, if financial doesn't show a true and fair view, then I have to give a modified report. So communication with TCWG is a separate thing altogether. It is not a substitute for your modified report. The last line they are telling, communication between TCWG and auditor cannot be regarded as substitute for a qualified adverse or a disclaimer of opinion. How our opinion will be depends on how the things are reflected in financial. It doesn't depend on what actions are taken by TCWG. Okay, write down a note. Write down a note. Auditor's report. Auditor's report, whether clean or modified. Auditor's report, comma, whether clean or modified. Auditor's report, comma, whether clean or modified. Again, comma, depends on how the matters are reflected. How the matters are reflected in what? Financial statement. How the matters are reflected in financial statement. Full stop. It does not depend on what actions were taken by TCWG. It does not depend on what actions were taken by TCWG. We are not concerned with what actions they take. We are just concerned with how it is reflected in financial statement. Okay, this was your essay 260. 260 was communication of audit matters to those charged with governance. The purpose is they are able to take a timely action. And communication will help in establishing a good relationship with you. They will have a confidence that you are working independently, because you also communicate about the independence related to issues also. Threats which are and safeguards which you took, everything you communicate. So one, good relationship will be there. Second, you will be able to get the information relevant for audit, and they will be able to get information which is relevant for overseeing the financial reporting process. Ye tha role. Now issues arises, whom shall I communicate, what shall I communicate, how shall I communicate, they are addressed in this essay. And to avoid confusion, this all can be many times given in letter of engagement. Now coming to communicating deficiencies in internal control. Clearly written, only what? Deficiencies in internal control to those charged with governance and management. Now, who is primarily responsible for prevention, detection of frauds and errors? Okay, for that purpose, what does management do? Internal controls. Okay, as an auditor, do you check internal controls? Why? Okay, so see, we check internal controls. Wherever controls are weak, can I say chances of frauds and errors are more? So whenever we are identifying risky areas, what was risk of material misstatement? When they gave me financial, usme risk kitna hai? Risk of material misstatement depends on two factors. Inherent risk into control risk. Control risk depends on quality of control. So to decide how much is the risk over here, I have to see the control also. And if I find yahan pe controls are weak, risk ke chances are high. If risk ke chances are high, I will check more. So my purpose of checking internal control is to decide the audit procedures which are appropriate in the circumstances. What is my purpose? Our purpose of checking internal control is to decide the audit procedures which are appropriate in circumstances. So while identifying risky area, we will try to see the controls of that area also, but we check control not to help management. We check control to decide what should be our other audit procedure. Our purpose is not to give opinion on controls. Now someone says, do we give opinion on controls? IFC. But IFC is only in companies, and that too few, not all. If I'm doing audit of partnership, if I'm doing audit of trust, if I'm doing audit of cooperative society, individual ka audit, tax audit hai, do I report on IFC wahan pe? Nahin. So our purpose is not to report on controls, whether they are operating effectively or not. Our purpose of seeing control is to decide what should be our nature, timing, extent of other audit procedures. So to identify risky areas, we consider the controls, how the controls are. Based on controls, we decide what should be the other audit procedures. This essay does not tell you how to check controls. This essay doesn't tell you what? How to check control. And this essay doesn't say if controls are weak, what extra procedures you should do. If controls are weak, I check more, na? This essay doesn't tell how to check control. This essay doesn't say if controls are weak, what extra checking you should do. That is not given in this essay. This essay just says that to identify risky area, you are trying to see controls. While seeing control, if you find a deficiency, communicate. That's it. How to check control, we don't say. If controls are weak, what to do, we don't say. We just say if you found that there are some issues in control, controls are not working well, what you do? Communicate to those charged with governance and management. Normal, small deficiencies, management. Big deficiencies, TCWG. Yeah, that clear? So this essay doesn't tell us how to check control. This essay doesn't say if controls are weak, what extra procedures should be done by auditor. This essay just says while checking control, if you identify a deficiency, what do? Communicate. Okay, so over here, just write down at the top. This essay does not tell about, how to check the controls. This essay doesn't tell about how to check the controls or what additional procedures to be done, when controls are weak. What additional procedures should be done when controls are weak. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about how to check control. They don't talk about what extra procedure to be done if controls are weak. Full stop. This essay states that while checking controls, if auditor identifies any deficiency in controls, if auditor identifies any what? Deficiency in controls, he should communicate to management or TCWG. He should communicate to whom? Management or TCWG. Okay, so this essay doesn't tell how to check control. This essay doesn't tell if controls are weak, what extra things to be done. This is just telling if you are checking control and you find a deficiency, what do? Communicate to TCWG. Now, what is the purpose of checking control? What is our purpose of checking control? To express opinion or decide the other procedures which are appropriate in circumstances? Okay, so the auditor considers internal control in order to design the audit procedures that are appropriate in circumstances, but not for the purpose of expressing opinion on internal control. Except, exception is what? When IFC is applicable, we report. Otherwise, we are not going to opine on it. We just check to decide the audit procedure, except when reporting on IFC is applicable under section 143 subsection 3 clause number I. 143 subsection 3 clause number I. So normally we check control to decide what should be the audit procedure. It's not for deciding how to, it's not for giving opinion on control. We don't give opinion on control except when reporting on IFC is applicable. Clear with this? Now, what do we mean by the word deficiency in internal control? When do I say control is deficient? Control is not working. Okay. Okay, now chalo. I see definitions are really very good and they've written in a very good language. Okay, what is the purpose of control? What is the purpose of internal control? To prevent and detect the frauds and errors on a timely basis. Why do management put control? To prevent and detect frauds and errors on a timely basis. If it cannot do that, then it's a deficient. Okay, so if you see the deficiency in internal control, control is designed, implemented and operated. Control is designed, implemented and operated in a manner that it is unable to prevent, detect and correct the frauds and errors on a timely basis. Understandable? Now do you think language is difficult? No, but you remember mug it up nahi hoga. And second, now tell me, there is some control required to prevent, detect, correct the fraud and error on timely basis, but they don't have that control only. Control is there, but it is unable to prevent. And second is control is not there. Both are deficiency. So now second part of deficiency, a control which is required to prevent, detect and correct the frauds and errors on timely basis is missing. So what is a deficiency in internal control? A control is designed. Now there are three words written. Design, implemented, operated. First, design aata hai. Okay, Yashash Academy checks ID card on only Mondays. Is the design of control good? Like student who has paid the fees, they should only attend. Now suppose your batch is full, there are 200 students sitting in class or 250 students sitting in class. We check ID cards only on Monday. Is that system a good system? No. Why? You'll tell your friend you can come and attend other than Monday. Free mein aake baithna, why do you pay fees? Oh, book you can Xerox from me. So you can tell your friend come other than on Monday. So design is wrong. What is wrong? Okay, they check ID card on random basis twice a week. They check ID card on a random basis twice a week. Design good or not good? Good. But they just check the ID card first time when batch started. Fir check hi nahi kiya hai. They checked only once when batch started. Then they didn't check only. What is wrong? Implement. Design to acha tha. We'll check 2 times in a week. But we are not checking. The implementation is wrong. And third, operation. Over a period of time, do we need to change control? Over a period of time, whether controls are to be changed. Yes or no? Yes, if they don't change it, so they are not operating it properly. Operation is over a period of time, you need to change it. Okay, the control is designed, implemented, operated. Designing, implementation, operated. In a way that it is what? Unable to prevent, detect and correct the frauds and errors on a timely basis. Or a control which is required, which is necessary to prevent, detect, correct the fraud and error on timely basis is missing. Clear with this? This is your deficiency in internal control. Now what do you mean by significant deficiency in internal control? Tell me. Very simple definitions there. All logical things. Material deficiency. Okay. Which affects financial statement. Every deficiency will affect financial statement. Possibility of fraud is more. Okay. Now just tell me one thing. If suppose you say it's a big deficiency, what you will do? If you say it's a big deficiency, significant is what? Big. Okay, communicate. To whom? So that's the definition. So what is the definition? One which you have to communicate to TCW. That's significant. So kisko bolenge significant deficiency? The one which is to be communicated to TCW. The significant deficiency is what? That is also a deficiency in internal control, which in auditor's professional judgment merits, means requires the attention of TCWG. The things which I have to bring it to the attention of TCWG, such deficiencies are known as significant deficiency. What is a significant deficiency? Tick that as important, both definition important. Okay, so that is also a deficiency or a combination of deficiency that in auditor's professional judgment is of sufficient importance to merit. Merit means draw the attention of whom? Those charged with governance. It's not like big fraud something, it's just something which you have to tell it to TCWG, वो significant होगा, that's why you're telling to TCWG. So those which require the attention of TCWG, such deficiencies are called as significant deficiencies. Simple definition, no? And language is, now you might think, sir, this much big definition, four lines, but if you see 4 lines, they are kind of normal sentences only, which naturally would have came that way. Okay, so this is deficiency in internal control, significant deficiency. What is the objective of this essay? Communicate it to management or TCWG on a timely basis, so that they are able to take actions. So controls weak hai, they can improve the control if I tell them. So communicate the deficiencies and significant deficiencies which are identified on the timely basis. That's objective, not requirements. Requirements. So 1, based on the work which you perform, if you identify deficiency, essay doesn't tell you how to check control. So they didn't talk about how to check control. They just said when you are checking and you found a deficiency. Now directly communication will happen. So essay the auditor shall determine based on the work performed whether any deficiencies are identified. Whether any deficiencies are identified, that you determine, and you also determine whether individually or in combination they constitute what? Significant. So based on work performed, you see whether you identified deficiency, and individual or together they form what? Significant. Okay, if you identified a deficiency, what you need to do? Communicate. Okay, if you identify deficiency, you have to communicate. Yeah, that clear? Okay, if it is a significant deficiency, whom do you communicate? Okay, but would you go directly to TCWG? If I find significant deficiencies in internal control of purchases, still I'll first go to whom? Purchase manager, then I'll tell it to directors also. But if it's a normal deficiency, some small deficiencies are there, some invoices, signs are missing, I don't go to director, I'll just deal it with the purchase manager. The normal deficiencies are communicated to only management. Significant deficiencies are communicated first to management, then to TCWG. So pay attention. Normal deficiencies are communicated only to management. Significant deficiencies are communicated first to management, then to TCWG. And significant deficiencies are always communicated in writing. Normal deficiencies can be oral. I'm not telling will be oral. Normal deficiencies you have to communicate only to management. It can be oral. Significant deficiencies first to management, then to TCWG in writing. Okay, so now what they are telling? The auditor shall communicate in writing. What you should communicate in writing? Significant deficiencies in internal control identified during audit to whom? Those charged with governance. Fine. Understandable? You should communicate significant deficiencies in writing. You have to communicate in writing what? Significant deficiencies to whom? Those charged with governance. So TCWG will get to know only the significant ones. What about management? Normal deficiencies I'll communicate to them. Significant also first to management, then to TCWG. If you see next page, the auditor shall communicate to management. To what? Management. What should I communicate? In writing, significant deficiencies. To management, I'll communicate in writing what? Significant. And B may other. Now, if you see B may other में वहाँ पे in writing नहीं है. In writing was only in A point. The other deficiencies can be communicated orally. Can be. I'm not telling will be. It can be communicated orally. But which one? Only the other deficiencies. Other deficiencies can be communicated orally. So what I have to communicate to management? Normal deficiencies, and in writing, significant deficiencies. Significant deficiencies will first go to management, then will go to TCWG. TCWG have to communicate in writing only significant deficiencies. Are that clear? Now, whenever you're communicating, should I just tell this is a deficiency? Or should I explain what happened and how do I say that's a deficiency? Should I explain the things or just tell, sir, this is a deficiency? Sir, your sales ke controls are very weak. Or I should explain what controls may there are weakness. Why do I say so? Yes, no? Okay, so whenever you're communicating, you give a description of deficiency, explain the potential impact, and sufficient information. You give some extra information that will enable the TCWG and management to understand the context of your communication. Why do you say so? To give some information so that TCWG and management are able to understand your communication. The auditor shall include in his communication what? So, of significant deficiencies. Significant deficiencies, when you're communicating, you include what? Description, why, what is a deficiency? What impact would it have financial statement? And I should give some other information. Why do I say it was a significant deficiency? So that they are able to understand the context of my communication. Now, do I need to quantify the effect? They are telling you have to explain the potential impact, correct? You have to explain the potential impact. Do I need to quantify the effect? So because of this deficiency, your sales might be misstated by around 5 lakh crores. Do I need to say that? Do I need to quantify the effect? Yes, no? Okay, so this essay says no. Now, depends. Herba depends will not work. So you need to be very clear in understanding. If you just go at the end, so you don't have to give the, you don't have to quantify the effect, but you can give a suggestion for remedial action. Now, you check the control, you found weakness, you can suggest a remedial action. If you just go down, auditor's response. In auditor's response, in explaining the potential impact of what? Significant deficiency, the auditor need not quantify those effects. The auditor may include suggestions for remedial actions. You do not need to quantify the effect, but you may include the suggestions for remedial actions. Clear with this? So, yahan pe, it is actually linked to this point. You should, when we are communicating the significant deficiency, explain the potential impact. The potential impact, when we are explaining, no need to quantify the effect, but you may give suggestions for what? Remedial action. Yes, please. See, there's a difference between designing your control and wherever I found something wrong and I tell you, you can do like this. The overall controls are not said to have been designed. It's just that one place I found some issue, I'm telling you. So that is okay. SA allows you to do that. So it will not lead to designing and implementation of basically a financial information system. No. Okay? And this is just a suggestion. They follow, they don't follow. Again, that's a different issue. So whenever you find yahan pe deficiency in internal control, you communicate to them and you can also give suggestions for remedial action. Now, determining whether it has a deficiency or not. Determining whether the deficiency has been identified. Determining whether the deficiency have been identified. If you found something, whether it is a deficiency or not. If I found something, whether it's a deficiency or not, in deciding, don't decide yourself. You don't decide yourself. Discuss with the management and then decide. Sir, why? Why can't I decide myself whether it's a deficiency or not? Because you will not understand many things. I tell you a simple example. Company has a control that whenever goods are dispatched, whenever goods are being dispatched, the QC department will check the quality of goods. They will put a stamp QC. You might have seen sticker in many of the clothes or some garments you purchase. QC ka sticker comes. That is nothing but what? Quality checked. So they have a QC department. QC department will put a sticker of quality control, or they will put a stamp on the invoice, quality checked before dispatching, and then only the goods are dispatched. Good system, bad system? Good system. Now you checked 10 sales bill on a random basis. How many bills you checked? 10 sales bill. Out of 10 bills, 2 bills did not carry a stamp of QC. So every time bill pay they put a stamp, QC checked, then the goods are dispatched. But out of 10 bills I checked, how many bills did not have a QC stamp? 2 bills. QC stamp and QC guy will sign it. 2 bills mein that signature was not there. So I feel out of 10 bills, 2 bills doesn't have a signature. So systems are working properly or not working properly? 10 mein se 2. So 20% time it doesn't work. Is it okay? Now don't decide yourself. That is what SA says. Now you might be feeling 10 mein se 2 time it doesn't work. So overall 20% of the time QC is not working. But when you ask management, sir, your QC department doesn't work well. Management asks me, sir, why do you say so? I said, I checked your 10 sales bill. Out of 10 sales bill, 2 May QC stamp was not there. They said, sir, wait. Sir, please tell me the dates of the bill. So I said, one is 5th May, other is 10th May. One is 5th May, other is 10th May. Then the management is telling me, sir, we are not a big company, we are a small company. We are one person only in QC. We are only one person in QC. And that guy was on leave from 5th to 12th of May on occasion of his own marriage. यार उतना तो लीव लेगा ना बेचारा, हनीमून भी जाना है. So from 5th to 12th May he was on leave, and because of that QC has not worked only for 5th to 12th May. So you see any other dates you'll pakka find QC ka bill. Then you checked other 50 bills. How many bills you checked? Other 50. All 50 bills mein stamp was there. Now you initially thought out of 10 to 20% time QC doesn't work. Reality mein it didn't work only for 7 days out of 365 days, less than 2%. 7 days out of 365 days is less than what? 2%. So now you thought it is not working 20% time. Reality is it didn't work only 2%. And that too due to a genuine reason which is not going to come again. Hopefully. So the thing is, that was a genuine problem. Because of that 7 days it didn't work. So now I cannot say that the design is weak or basically systems are not working well. It is working well. Just 7 days due to some issue it didn't work. So there are not 20% problems. There are only 2% problem, which also may not be coming in next year. So in deciding, don't decide yourself only that it's a deficiency. Discuss with management and then decide. Okay, so in determining whether the deficiency has been identified, the auditor may discuss the relevant facts and circumstances with the appropriate level of management. But again, the word is what? May. It's up to you. When you have a doubt, you can discuss it. Otherwise, you can conclude on your own also. The auditor may discuss the relevant facts and circumstances with the appropriate level of management. Yeah, that clear? And the last point, indicators of significant deficiency. We had the definition of the word significant deficiency. These are indicators. Indicators means that may be a significant deficiency. What is indicators? It's not it is. It may be a significant deficiency. These are indicators of significant deficiency, means it may be a significant deficiency. Now when do I call a significant deficiency, or when it may be a significant deficiency? When overall environment is weak. Ineffective aspect of control environment. See, koi bhi cheez, like tell me, in India people don't follow the traffic signals. US mein the people were following due to what? How you are brought up, how you have seen others doing it. So that is nothing but the overall environment. That is overall which environment? Control environment. Everybody following. We see that people throwing basically anything on the road. So many times we also throw it. But if you have seen from childhood that any basically things are there, you put it only in dustbin, then you will also always put in what? Dustbin only. It's basically how you are brought up, how your environment surroundings are there. If you see the environment itself is weak, then it's not a normal deficiency. Then it is which deficiency? Significant deficiency. Like your office mein your partner expects, or your basically principal expects, you should be in your office at 10:30 every day. You should be in your office dot at what? 10:30 every day. Good. But now you went first day at 10:30, he came at 12 o'clock. Second day you went 10:30, he again came at 12 o'clock. Third day you went at 10:30, again he came at 12 o'clock. Fourth day you went at 11 o'clock. You didn't go at 10:30, now you started going 11 because you know he comes at 12. Then you started going 11:30, but you make sure you reach before 12. But now, are you following that? No. Reason is top level management themselves don't follow. We will not follow. So environment is not created good. If you want environment to be good, first initiatives are to be taken by top level management. I told you a company, Hitachi, they have even directors coming in the same staff bus with all other people. Imagine you know your directors are also in that staff bus. You will ensure you will never reach late. Because the staff bus mein directors are there and they see me coming late, so I'll not have a good thing. When they understand the directors are coming at same time, they are also leaving at same time, they are working same thing. But when I know my principal comes at 12, he goes away at 3, so I also will not be interested in working. He comes for 3 hours, but he gives me work to sit late only. So then you will not like it. So it always depends. The environment is built up by how the TCWGs are responding. The ineffective aspects of control environment. If I feel environment is very weak, like identification of management fraud, management's failure to take remedial actions on some significant deficiencies, or significant transaction in which management is interested, they are not being properly scrutinized. Related party ko sale ho raha hai, wahan pe controls we don't see. Normally, for price of goods, sales manager approval required. But director's son, the goods were being sold, we told them, don't take it to sales manager, directly come to me, I will approve it. So means, wherever they were interested, they were not following controls, or there are some indication of management fraud, or some problems were identified, still they are not taking actions. They are nothing but your overall environment is becoming weak. Okay, then absence of risk assessment process within an entity. Absence of what? Now, auditor does a risk assessment process. You identify risky area where there can be fraud or error in financial statement. I am concerned with only, okay, am I concerned with your business related risk, whether your product will be sold or not sold? Am I concerned with that? No. But can I say that the management should have the procedures to identify risk related to their business? We are launching a new product. Would it work or not work? Should they have some risk management process? So this is whose risk management process? Entity. Absence of risk assessment process within the entity. Every entity has some risk. And for that risk, they should have some risk assessment procedure. Identifying risk, overcoming them, they should have some procedure. For example, ITC is a company that is mainly in production of what? Tobacco. Name only says Indian Tobacco Company. ITC is basically into manufacturing of tobacco. What is the risk in that business? Government policies. Day in and day out, government are becoming more and more strict on basically tobacco. Duties have increased drastically. That is one. Second, now if you see a packet of cigarette, they kind of show a face wherein by seeing only you feel, let me throw it. You go to any of the movie, every movie starting with Mukesh wala advertisement. It's not advertisement, it's mandatory to be given, otherwise you can't play the movie. They made it mandatory, free mein you have to give that ad. It's not like government paying you for that Mukesh wala advertisement. Second, any scene where cigarette is there, you will see cigarette smoking is injurious to health. Earlier, just imagine 5 years back, did you saw that every scene ke baad was cigarette smoking injurious? 5 years back it was not there. Okay, 5-10 years back, if you see a cigarette ka packet, that face was not there on cigarette ka packet also. Similarly, 10 years back, Mukesh wala advertisement was not there. So that all government is trying to make it more and more strict. Your business is getting affected. If you see ITC ka balance sheet or PNL, 5 years back and today, you might have seen sales have grown. But it's only amount wise. Quantity wise, the sales have drastically reduced. Amount wise, it has increased. Now, cigarette which was costing 1 rupee is costing today 5 rupee. So sales was 1 coming, today sale is coming 5. So that is, you will naturally see prices gone up. But now the reality is, quantity which they were selling is half only. So now, earlier it was 1 rupee sale, today you'll see 2.5 sale. Actually, if it was 1 rupee, same quantity, today it should be 5. But they are having only 2.5. Quantities have become half. So what did ITC do? They started diversifying. They found out their business risk. And there were regular systems. Now tell me, there are regular systems in place where monthly how much quantities are being sold that goes to directors. Directors are taking a call based on that. That is your risk assessment procedures. You have some system set up wherein monthly figures are coming of various things, which state is doing how, which product is doing how, and that is being discussed by the director. Director takes actions on that. That is nothing but your risk assessment procedure. And you put it as a part of your internal control only. You have monthly reporting done to director MIS. MIS is nothing but a part of internal controls. So internal controls ka part hai, monthly reporting will happen so that we take timely proper actions. So now they started diversifying. Now they are into paper industry. We have the books ITC ke, wo Classmate brand is basically by ITC. They are into agriculture. They are into basically pharmaceutical. Fiamma de Wills, soaps, shampoos, they are basically by ITC. Yippee noodles, Sunfeast biscuit, they all are by ITC. Ashirwad Atta. You know Ashirwad Atta? The Ashirwad Atta is by ITC. You know, only from Ashirwad Atta, they have a yearly turnover of 5,000 crores. Only from Ashirwad Atta, they have a yearly turnover of 5,000 crores as of today. So they started diversifying. They are into hotel business. You've seen ITC ka, ITC Gardenia is there in Bangalore. So they have started diversifying. So as a part of their risk management system, some internal MIS reporting are set, which will go on a monthly basis. Wo kya hai? That is nothing but a part of internal controls. If you don't have such system, so that's not a normal deficiency, that's a significant deficiency. Absence of risk assessment process within entity. Clear with this? Third one, you identified some significant risk. There's a significant risk already identified. Management knows yahan pe there are more issues. Still they don't take actions. So that's a significant deficiency. Now see the word. Evidence of ineffective response to identified significant risk. Now what is the difference between the word significant risk and a significant deficiency? Now, ये word है significant risk. This is not significant deficiency. Indicators of significant deficiency में ineffective responses to identified significant risk. There will be some difference between significant risk and significant deficiency. Deficiency, significant क्या था? Which I have to tell to TCWG. What is significant risk? No. Achha. What effect on financial statement? No. Significant risk is what? It's a identified and assessed risk of material misstatement. It's identified and assessed risk of material misstatement, which in auditor's judgment needs special audit consideration. Which in auditor's judgment needs what? Simple words mein, where there is a high chance of fraud and error. There is an area where there is a high chance of fraud and error. So it's a significant risky area. Auditor needs a special audit consideration. While doing audit, you have to check it in detail. Significant risk is area where there are high chance of fraud and error. Still management don't put any control over there. Or there's a high chance of fraud and error. They are knowing it, identified. They know yahan pe there's a problem. Still they don't do anything. So then it is called as not a normal deficiency. It's a significant deficiency. What is a significant risk? It is nothing but there are high chance of frauds and errors. Areas where there are high chance of fraud and errors. Areas where there are high chance of frauds and errors. An auditor will do more procedures for that area. You know, yahan pe there can be more chances of fraud and error. You will check it in more detail. That's why the definition says, which requires a special audit consideration. There are high chance of fraud and errors. It requires special audit consideration. It requires what? Special audit consideration. Actually, the definition is given in 315. When I go to tomorrow essay 315, you will understand this definition. It requires a special audit consideration. So there's already some area where there's a high chance of fraud and error. Management still are not putting any control for that. That is not a normal deficiency. That's a signal. Control required is not there, but it is for a big item. Wahan pe already big risk is there. Still we don't put control. That's not a normal deficiency. It's a significant deficiency. Fourth, misstatements which you found out. Misstatement detected by auditor's procedure, but were not prevented, detected or corrected by what? Entity's internal control. I found something, but your systems could not find. And I feel it's a very basic thing. And I feel it's what? I found something, I found some fraud or error, your system could not find. And I feel it's a very basic fraud or error. If your system can't capture the basic frauds and errors, your system is normally deficient or significantly deficient? Significantly deficient. So I found something which your system could not find, and I feel it's very basic. And I feel it's very basic. If your basic frauds and errors are not being caught, then your system is highly deficient. And last one. If you disclose a material misstatement due to fraud or error as a prior period item. If frauds are disclosed as prior period item, your systems are very bad. You can't have that. Like you have something material misstatement is there. This year may some fraud happen or this year may some error happen. Rather than showing as fraud or error, you show it as what? That is not justifiable. So then you are not trying to show the correct picture, and your system allows you to do that. Like backdate mein entries are allowed. What is allowed? Backdate mein entries are allowed. If your system allows you to do backdate entries, then your system is not good. Otherwise, what will happen? People will go back and change the entries. No. If something happened, you did wrongly, now you have to rectify, you have to show it in. A rectification entry should be passed. Never there should be going back and changing. If your system allows you to go back and change, your system is not a good system, that the system is said to be highly deficient. You know, SAP ke andar you cannot go back and do backdate entry, but Tally mein you can go back and do it. So that is backdate entries are allowed. So that is not proper. Yeah, you did something wrong. You have to rectify today, show the rectification. Then you are showing a real picture. But you go back and rectify it, then that is not the real picture shown. It is possible auditor had already checked it and later you have changed the previous figures. The auditor went, he did the first quarter audit. He came, he did first quarter audit. Now when you come in second quarter, they had changed the figures of first quarter. You were under impression, I already checked first quarter, but they have now changed it. But if system doesn't allow them to change the first quarter figures, then I'm reliable, okay, systems are fine. But if they change the first quarter figure, I won't be able to know it, so then the systems are highly deficient. Clear with this? Okay, so these are indicators of significant deficiency. One, evidence of ineffective aspects of what? Control environment. If I feel the overall environment itself is not good, top level management themselves don't follow control, they are doing some frauds, so that is environment is kind of weak. So the significant deficiency. Second, absence of risk assessment process within the entity. Entity don't identify their business related risk. They don't have that system of MIS reporting on monthly basis to take decisions. Then it is a significant deficiency. Third, there was a significant risk where there is a high chance of fraud and error. Still, they are not putting controls over there. So control required are not put, but wahan pe risk is more. So it is a significant deficiency. Fourth one is basically you found out some misstatement which was not found out by internal control, and you feel it's a very basic one. If your system can't capture basic frauds and errors, your system is highly deficient. If your system allows you to show frauds or errors which are done as prior period item, like you go back and change or something like that, then your systems are highly deficient. If something wrong happens, show it now as fraud or error. You have to have a rectification entry, not going back and changing it. These are indicators of significant deficiency. Ho gaya. This essay is also over. Now, write a short note on letter of weakness. What is a letter of weakness? Essay 265 says what? What is essay 265? Communicating the deficiencies in internal control. We communicate by way of a letter. That letter is called as a letter of weakness. Ho gaya. So it is nothing but essay 265 tells us to communicate. The letter of weakness is nothing but a letter issued by auditor stating the weaknesses in internal control and suggest the measures by which the weakness can be corrected. Remember, we give remedial actions, suggestions for remedial action. So that is basically your letter of weakness. Other things is fine. Question 2 is important. Question number 2 is important. Okay, during the course of audit, auditor noticed material weaknesses in internal control. He wants to communicate to management. Okay, that's fine. You are required to elucidate important points. Question is, elucidate the important point auditor should keep in mind while drafting the letter. While drafting letter, which points you should keep in mind? What? While drafting the letter draft karna means you are doing in writing only. Letter vadaya means in writing. So when I am drafting the letter, which points I should keep in mind? Okay, so when I am drafting a letter, I am communicating. They have told me, don't just communicate the deficiency. So you have to state deficiency, possible effect you have to tell, and give other information which will help the management or TCWG understand the context of communication. Plus, whenever I'm drafting letter, I don't have to quantify the effect, but I can give suggestions for remedial actions. So, yes, Sara, answer will be there. So, if you see over here, so one, essay 265 has already told that the auditor should include in written communication what? The description and explain the potential effect, sufficient information to enable them to understand the context of communication. Okay. Then, the letter should be in form of a letter called as letter of weakness. Important points are, the letter should list down the areas of weakness and offer suggestions. It should indicate that it discusses only weakness which have came to the attention of auditor, and we are not giving any opinion on controls. The letter should clearly indicate that it discusses only the weaknesses which have come to the attention of auditor. There can be other weaknesses also. And we're not commenting on basically how your system is. Letter serves as a valuable reference document for management for the purpose of revising the system. That is fine. And letter may serve to minimize the legal liability when problem arises. Like suppose, I told you about the internal control. You improve your control, you will be having a lot of benefits. Okay, the letter serves as a valuable reference document for management for the purpose of what? Revising their system. And the letter may also serve to minimize the legal liability in the event of major loss resulting from a weakness in system. So this is what you should do. How to draft a letter, that was a question. So don't just write down the deficiency, explain the potential effect, and also give other explanations so that they are able to understand the context of communication. Then no need to quantify the effect, but you should give remedial, you can give suggestions for remedial action. And say that this is only the deficiencies which we have identified. There can be other deficiencies as well. We are not giving an opinion on controls. Letter will serve as a helpful to the management to come out with a revision in their control and to have them having a lesser loss because of having a bad systems. Okay, this was the question. Certain weakness in internal control procedures in payment of wages. In payment of wages, some internal control issues were noticed by the auditor. So certain weaknesses in internal control procedures were noticed by the auditor, who in turn brought the same to the knowledge of whom? Managing director. Okay, so can I say over here, weaknesses in internal control noticed by statutory auditor, who brought to the knowledge of whom? Managing director. So have you communicated or not communicated? You have communicated. Subsequent year, it was found out. Subsequent year, it was also came to the notice of management. An origin was traced in earlier years. The management wants to sue the auditor for negligence. Now, you have done your work. You have communicated to whom? Managing director. Managing director didn't do anything. That was not my lookout. And I have done my work properly as per 265. I am required to communicate. I have communicated. So would I be held guilty for negligence? Answer will be no. And the fact that I have communicated, that will be a defense for me. Sir, I already told you last year. When management came to know? Subsequent year. In subsequent year, use demarcation came to the notice of management. When did I communicate? Last year. So मैंने तो already communicate कर दिया था. You did not took any action and that was your lookout. In subsequent year, a use defalcation came to the notice of management. So यहाँ पे, if I just see the last, the fact that the matter was brought to the notice of managing director may be a good defense for the auditor as well. And see, you are not responsible to identify all frauds and errors. You give only a reasonable assurance. I'll club 265 and SA 260. Not 260, 240. So 265 and 240 both should be kind of clubbed up. So यहाँ पे they have written about 265. They would have written about 240 by not naming it, but you can write down about SA 240 as well somewhat. 40. There is a defalcation, frauds are done. So fraud के लिए 240 was there. 50 was consideration of laws and regulation. यहाँ पे laws and regulation कहाँ आया? This is frauds ना, तो fraud के related, what is your responsibility? तो you found something, okay, यहाँ पे. And anyways we are telling auditor is not responsible to find out all the frauds and errors. Your responsibility is only to obtain a reasonable assurance. You found weakness in control, you have communicated to them. So you have actually done your work, you won't be liable. Similar case was there in SP Cattersons and Sons Limited. The auditor was acquitted. Acquitted is basically not guilty. You are not guilty of charge in a similar case which was basically there. Okay, so question number 2 and